Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. To all those who just subscribed, I've seen the love. Thank you so much for the new subscriptions over the past few days. Please keep subscribing, please keep liking, please keep sharing. There's a lot more that we're going to be bringing you soon, so stay tuned. So yes, to all my regulars, once again, thank you so much for the support. So today, this one is going to be a quick one. This is just to help, because I've had a lot of new subscribers who are actually not nurses or in the healthcare sector. They also want to know what their chances are, or how they can get to come to Ireland if they want to relocate to Ireland. So I've come today to just share briefly the recruiting agencies that employ nurses. One, because I'm a nurse, I always start with nurses. Two, healthcare assistants. Three, the different professions that I could get. But as we keep going, the more information I get, the more information I'll put out there. For now, I know I've mentioned for nurses already in the previous videos, but I'll give a quick rundown of those. And just so you know, I'm going to put the emails of these recruitment agencies in the description box down below. So make sure you go and then make sure you email them, find out what their requirements are, send them your CVs, whatever they want you to send. Fill in. I know they're like the one that brought me services has like information that they want you to fill in, and there's a lot of paperwork to fill in, but it's totally worth it, guys. So don't be lazy, just make the effort. Ask those who've come already how to fill in the forms and you'll be fine. So yes, we'll do nursing jobs first. I'll be quick with this video because today I want to talk to you. I want to do one or two more vlogs on other issues. So this one, I'm going to just do a quick rundown. It's just me basically giving you the emails, the names of the agencies, which professions they cater for, and then the rest you do on your own. Do your due diligence, ask people who are there. I'm always open to helping in my DMs. So like I always say down below, connect to me on my socials. I don't say it just because I want to be friends. I say it because I know that there are people who struggle with certain things. So sorry about that, guys, technical issues. Anyway, so like I said, like I was saying, sorry, I'm gonna just give a rundown on the main ones that recruit nurses. There's one that I found that is recruiting nurses and healthcare assistants. So yeah, I'll give the nurses ones first, and then the rest, because I'm a nurse, so nurses first. So basically, for me, the first one and the top one will always be service or healthcare. For me, they're the best because they're the ones who brought me, and I didn't have any glitches with them, and I didn't pay them anything. I'm sure they charge the employer or whatever, but everything was smooth sailing for me. I did whatever they wanted to do in terms of paperwork. They'll ask you for, they want loads of paperwork. They want you to fill out competency forms. They always, when they ask you for things, they want a timely response. And I think if you are also quick, they're quick to process your stuff or your relocation journey. Right, then we'll move on to CPL healthcare. There's OSP recruitment. OSP recruitment, I think, is Communicare, or is the one that recruits nurses to work in the community. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, find out more about it. I know a lot of people have a lot to say about some of the recruitment agencies, but I'm not here to say who's good, who's bad, who's what. All I can say is do your due diligence on each one. And sometimes all you want is to just set your foot in Ireland. Once you're here, you can always change the job if you're not happy. And you can always look for greener pastures. Just as you move from Zimbabwe to Ireland, in Ireland it's much easier to move from one place to another. And then also there's KCR, Kate Cowick International Healthcare Recruitment. KCR, if I'm not mistaken, you pay everything for yourself. So if you can manage to fund yourself to come, then it's fine. But when you get here and everything, you pass your exams and you start working, they refund you, from what I hear. So it's things also that you can inquire with these recruitment agencies before you sign any contracts or anything like that. Find out their terms, find out how they do things, find out whether you need to pay them back or whether they're going to be taking anything from your salary once you start working. And just make sure whatever you sign, you're happy with. If you're not sure, ask, like I said, ask people who've already come here, ask people who have knowledge about it already, so that you don't make uninformed decisions. And then also, I'll mention Wellington, but I don't know, I'm mentioning him because he's Zimbabwean and I'm Zimbabwean. But I know before I came, there was COVID and it was so hard to apply directly. Recruitment agencies were not hiring at that time. So he was coming on their behalf to Zimbabwe to do interviews and hire them for certain and hire staff for recruiters in Ireland for certain job positions. So I'll put as well his email down below. You can inquire with him. You know, sometimes people want to deal with someone from their country. You can understand each other better and all. So I once again, I'll say I don't know how good he is. I don't know his reputation or anything, but I know he's brought people here, and you can inquire with him. There's no harm. Inquire with him just the same way you inquired Services, CPL, OSP, KCR. Inquire with Wellington. He might be able to help you. Things are different for every single person. For me, it could have been Services. For you, it could be Wellington. For someone else, it could be KCR. So I'm not biased to anyone besides Services. But then, because they brought me, but then I'm just saying, you can email all of them actually and just find out what they offer and how they do things and what they want from you, and you can try through all of them, and whoever gets you a job first, happy days. So then the one that I've seen as well that says it's also taking healthcare assistance is one called Brookhaven Healthcare. Okay, guys, so we move on to Brookhaven Healthcare. This one hires both nurses and healthcare assistants, but I don't know the ins and outs, especially when it comes to healthcare assistants. I'm not sure if this is healthcare assistants locally or internationally as well, but there's no harm. Like I said, the email will be down below in the description box. Just inquire and find out. And then we move on to social workers. So for social workers, I've seen that FRS is recruiting social workers, but it also recruits anyone from any other profession. So it's like all professions. So yeah, and then there's one called Approach People Recruitment, which also hires anyone like from any profession. And then for hospitality jobs, those of you who've done their degrees or is it diplomas or have their qualifications in hospitality, there's a one called Action Recruitment. And then we move on as well to construction and civil engineering. In this sector, we're looking at a recruitment agency called Word Personnel. And then for industries and part-time work, you can try one called Sigma Recruitment. And yeah, and then once again for construction and engineering, Sonas Recruitment. And then for sales and marketing jobs, there's one called the People Group. So also I've heard of a few people who've come as accountants. What I'll do is, I didn't get anything on this research for accountants, but if I do before I put out this video, I'm going to link it down below as well. But then guys, there's no harm in trying. There's no harm in just sending your CV. There's no harm, like for CVs, I always say ask people who've already come on how they've been, because the CV layout for Ireland is very different from the Zimbabwean one. So ask people who are already in Ireland, or ask even your recruiter. Usually I find CVs, it doesn't really matter, because if you're going through a recruitment agency, they'll fix your CV to what the employer wants. They know what to do. You just have to give them all the information. So make sure that if you're applying for whatever type of job you're applying, you're putting whatever is relevant for that job. You're putting your qualifications for that profession, your experience for that profession. You're putting, yeah, basically that's what they want. They're not worried about things that have got nothing to do with the job, the actual job. So it's mainly they want to know what qualifications you have, how far did you go in school pertaining to that profession, and your experience. If you've got any work experience, just tell them your work experience and your references, and then they'll also advise you accordingly of anything else that they may want, or you know, if they need to prepare you. Like I always give a big up to Services, because they like received my CV for the post that I was applying for, and then they told me, okay, we've got an interview for you on such a day, and then they said we'll do a pre-interview exam with you. So like a day before, they called me. First they did an interview with me just to find out about me, my experience, where I worked and everything. And then when they found me a job interview, they came back to say, we're going to do a pre-interview with you. And they were basically asking me what I was going to be asked in the interview, because these people know already what is likely to be asked for a certain post. But of course, there'll be other things or other scenarios that you're given that you can't really plan. It's like it now boils down to, do you really have experience in that field that you're saying you do? Because you're just a scenario may just be thrown to you, especially for us nurses. Okay, there's a situation like this, like this, like this. How are you going to deal with it? You can only come up with an answer for that with knowledge in that particular field and with experience in that particular field. So yeah, that's the only 2 cents I can give. Then I wanted to talk about people whose husbands have joined them or whose wives have joined them in Ireland, or your partners. Some may not be married officially, but then if you're looking for a job, if you're job hunting for your partner or your spouse, I would advise that once they are here, they should join the Ireland job searching sites like Indeed.com. Indeed is very good. Jobs.ie, LinkedIn, IrishJobs.ie, Jobs.ie, RecruiteIreland.com. These are very beneficial when you are in Ireland, because there's so many jobs that are put out every single day. And once you join these and put in your email and your relevant qualifications or experience, they automatically send you these jobs as they come out. So even with me up to now, I still get job advertisements or job what you call this, posts that, oh, there's a job in Dublin for business, there's a job in Waterford, there's a job, meaning that if ever I thought about leaving where I am now, I do actually have what can I say, places where I know I could go. I know, okay, even if that post is gone that I saw a month ago, other posts will always come out. So in case you're not happy where you want, where they, like, in case you're not happy where you're working, it's also another good what can I say, a source of information for new jobs. And then yeah, so I won't stress. Another thing that I want to stress enough is LinkedIn. Make sure your LinkedIn profile is good. Make sure your LinkedIn profile is updated. Make sure you're putting in your location. My husband was fortunate enough that when he came here, he only was home for a month. His first job, also, let me say this, was by word of mouth, just in our community. That, oh no, there's someone looking for a job. We had an industry around. That was where his first job was, and it had nothing to do with his profession, but just because it was word of mouth that there is someone new in the community and they're looking for something to do while they look for their proper job. And it goes a long way in helping or assisting your other partner to have 2 incomes while you're looking for your ideal job or your professional job. So then while he was at that job, because of his LinkedIn profile, he was scouted by a recruiter, had an interview and everything, and got his professional job. So the one, word of mouth. It's very important to talk to people around you. It's very important to tell people that, oh no, my partner is here and I'd like them to be doing something. You might never know, that job might end up being their best job, or they might even get them their ideal job. It's just a lot. I've seen in, sorry about that, I realized that in Ireland, word of mouth goes a long way. So you just have to say something to someone because someone knows someone. And then yeah, so yeah, I can't stress enough, LinkedIn is a good one in the European side of the world to get a job. I get a lot of job invites and the job offers on LinkedIn, and it encourages me and it gives me hope that, you know what, if ever I want to change jobs, or if there are opportunities that are there out there. So make sure your LinkedIns are updated. And yeah, I hope this helps someone. So social workers, engineers, I think I've covered you. I'll look into accountants, and then I'll put a link as well for accountants down below. So thank you for tuning in. Yeah, so I'm gonna come back then. I promise to talk about nursing homes, working in a nursing home versus working in a hospital. So I'll do that, and then we move on to the rest of the information that I want to share as well. So thank you guys once again. Please hit that like, that share, and that subscribe button.